Hello, the section of this course is named as Debugging and Operationalize Streaming Diagnostic Logs. In this section, we are going to learn first how to debug stream analytics jobs using select into clause that we would be defining about in real-time data processing, that what the data looks like in the middle of the query that could be helpful. In second video of this section, we would learn about how to handle the event order handling through Azure Service Bus Event Hub and how Stream Analytics helps us to manage the particular event order handling mechanisms. In third video of this section, you would learn about how to optimize the streaming unit, which are the basic compute capacity program of a real-time stream analytics job. And in the fourth video of the section, we would learn how to operationalize stream analytics jobs through the various diagnostics logs that is available for data conversion, serialization errors, or how to define the incompatible data types including constraints such as allow, null, and duplicates, how to define truncation of strings and issues, and with some more technical details. This video is named as Debugging of Jobs using Select into Clause. In this video, we are going to focus first a basic introduction to usage of Select into Clause to check the data stream in real-time data processing for Azure Stream Analytics jobs. Then we would be taking a look on the overview on reusing queries to use Select into Clause for debugging purpose. And finally, we would be watching a detailed demo that how to monitor and use Select into Clause into Stream Analytics T-SQL query language interface. So let's get started. In real-time data processing, it's very important to know that how the data looks like in the middle of the query and how it could be helpful. Because inputs or steps of an Azure Stream Analytics job, it can be read multiple times. So we can write extra select into statements, and doing that, the outputs of an intermediate data into storage, and it lets us to inspect the correctness of the data, just as to watching the variables that how it reacts when just a debugging starts of a particular stream analytics job. So select into statements typically helps us particularly for debugging and troubleshooting of a stream analytics job. Azure Stream Analytics, which is a fully managed service to deal the real-time data processing with a flexible SQL-like query language interface where we can easily construct queries to complete the complex data analysis. However, it is also means sometimes that the stream can be hard to troubleshoot when it does not run as expected. So there are some tricks as being connected that which can help us to troubleshoot Azure Stream Analytics job. And there is one of the process for a quick debugging and troubleshooting of a Stream Analytics job by using Select into statement. Sometimes knowing that what data should look like in the middle of the query, it's very helpful. So we can write when some extra Select into statements to the output intermediate data into storage, and where we can inspect the correctness of the data, just like watch variables when we are debugging a program. So we can define such cases the select into statement. So for example, you can see in the right hand side of the screen there is a stream analytics job is being queried written that which consists of one data stream and two reference data stream and one output as a table storage. So here the stream analytics job query, it can be written again to join the data from the data stream event hub and the two reference Azure blob storage stream, and finally it could be passed into Azure table storage stream, and how it has been connected together from select with defining the data schemas, then into clauses, and then it has been passed into the output storage aliases or the output data sync aliases from input, that is input event alias, and then we have passed the joining clauses with the references based on the references values, that is typically a joining operation. Stream Analytics also defines some cases of query patterns using system.timestamp property. So while we are being in the process of debugging a particular Stream Analytics job, so we have to note that while the job is running but no events are being produced in the output, so we can check in the monitoring tile that when the input has been processed, it's producing data, but we don't know that which step of the join caused that all the events to be dropped or the events having not processed properly. So in those situations, we can also add few extra select into statement just to log the intermediate joining results and to check that whether the data has been all read from the input tab or not. And similarly, we can also define some sorts of timestamp property like event timestamp, which can be retrieved in the select statement in any part of the query using the system.timestamp property. So such cases, the stream analytics query can be rewritten like select entry time, license plate, for example, in case of vehicle telemetry analysis example from input alias, and then we can define like in every timestamp, like in timestamp by keyword by entry time, so that the arrival time we can define as the timestamp of the event when the event was received by the event hub for blob storage, and we can identify the last modified time of that event. And in those way we can define also that's what's going wrong if there is no data has been passed to the input, or if there is any issues happened, or what is causing that the output has not produced by the stream analytics job. So now let's take a quick look on the demo that how to monitor and use the select into clause into the particular stream analytics job query. So for that purpose, let me switch into my Azure portal. So I'm just going to take a look into the Azure portal, and here in the Azure portal I have a sample Azure Stream Analytics job that is IoT delivery, that is a telemetry analysis job. That's for is a part of predictive analytics, where you can see that in the query sections I have defined that how to utilize specifically that the select into clauses. So basically it's a part of sensor data analytics where I have defined basically the input stream which is being passed from the Azure IoT hub, and then I have also defined that the data which is coming from real time, that is from an Azure IoT hub, it has been processed through Azure Stream Analytics, and then finally the output has been getting stored into an Azure blob storage, which consists of mainly the weather analytics data that is coming from the weather telemetry analysis, consists of humidity, device ID from the sensor data, and also the event timestamp. So to identify and to easy debugging of those particular cases, the job troubleshooting purposes, I have used the select into clauses that you can see I have used into telemetry summary, that is which is my output data sync blob storage, from stream data, which is the input alias from my IoT hub event stream data, and also I have defined the where clause basically to identify that where humidity is not null, just by basically defining a condition for my data stream. And finally I have passed into the group by clauses where I have defined that the event stamping of the data through connection device ID and with the sliding window interval. Similarly, in real world, we can also define such cases that the select into clauses. For example, this is one of the example of fraudulent call stream analytics in case of telemetry and the telecom scenario where we define the fraud detection analytics. So here is another example that where I have defined that how to debug and troubleshoot the stream analytics job using select into clauses, where I have used the select and the into clauses, and where the data has been passed into a call stream Power BI, and that is it's basically it's a Power BI dashboard that the data has been passed into as an output. And also where a few of the demos in other cases I have used also the joining clauses. So in this particular query I have used the joining clauses as well, that joining the call stream data, and it is also basically I have used the timestamp by keyword. So basically if I just take a look quickly that how this data has been joined so far. So they have been typically joined with the help of timestamp clauses. So for each and every purposes I have used the select system.timestamp, that the particular timestamp clauses, and not only just group by clauses, but even for timestamp itself, this queries has been they have been joined together through system.timestamp values all together. At any point of times, because since I have designed my query such a way, so any point of time for any issues particularly, I could be able to also define, I can able to monitor these queries all together. So this is how in real world where we could be able to troubleshoot the particular query, we could be able to debug the query, and This is how in real world select into clauses helps us, that's to troubleshoot and debug a particular real-time stream analytics problem. And in the output itself, we could be able to check that how the data formatted has been processed and been coming.